Look at you, man. Hey, ladies, Michael's here talking to you and waving to you. I'm going to make this an outtake. It's going to be good.
Why? I like it. It's funny. Spontaneity, Jack.
Do girls like spontaneity?
I hear they do.
Do they? The ones that talk to you after seeing you in the video?
Well, I don't know about all that.
He's being modest. I'm Daryl.
I'm Michael.
This is Big Bang Talks Comics. We got books from the week of December 30th. Actually, this is Big Bang Talks Comics and all kinds of stuff. But basically, we're going to talk our top picks this week in this episode right here.
Right now.
As you watch, as you listen, whichever method. But here we go. Let's start with a book that you've really been talking about, Michael, lately. Squadron Supreme number 2 comes out. Number 1 is pretty much the issue where I said the Squadron Supreme, in one issue, James Robinson, they put everyone in the Marvel Universe on notice. And they kill a major character. If you haven't read the book, they kill the character. Now, my question is how are they going to bring this character back, if they will?
I mean, it's comics.
But
anything
not only did they mess with this character, but they messed where he rules, and that's all I'm going to say.
What I like.
It was a book that took me by surprise. I think everybody should be reading it.
Yeah, I mean, the Squadron Supreme is awesome. Anyways, like I never really got into him before Secret Wars. I mean, Hyperion was cool. He was in Hickman's Avengers, the New Avengers run, and then
Nighthawk. This version of Nighthawk is from the Supreme Power J. Michael Straczynski run.
See, I didn't know that. I need to read that because I really like the Squadron. But and
they're all from a lot of the universes that ended in time runs out.
Incursions.
The Secret War, leading into Secret Wars.
We are seeing repercussions of actions certain characters took during the incursions before Secret Wars.
Right.
So I really like that. I really dig it. It's awesome.
And the thing about the Squadron Supreme that makes them unique is they actually remember everything that happened.
Yeah, they remember everything before Secret Wars.
And if you read the Ultimates, you know that all the characters, no one really remembers that. So Ultimates is a great book, by the way.
Ultimates is like my favorite Marvel title right now.
I like what they did with Galactus. He now gives life instead of consumes life.
It's awesome.
They solve ultimate problems. But anyway, Squadron Supreme, they're the only characters that actually remember what happened, which just kind of gives them an advantage that no one else has. Which also, like, even though they think they're doing right, we as the reader might think, man, these guys are kind of bad guys, but they're not necessarily heroes, but they think they're doing the right thing.
They're like Punisher, you know, they've
got
the line, they're
like,
in the gray area.
Yeah.
And I really dig that.
It's got a Watchmen slant to it.
Yeah, Watchmen. I mean, and they are like a Justice League, I don't want to say parody, but it's kind of like a Justice League inspired. They're DC and Marvel have done that over the years.
Which
back and forth, Marvel's done their version of the Justice League, DC's done their version of the Avengers.
Which Mark Gruenwald, when he created Squadron Supreme, it was kind of the Watchmen take on an Avengers team.
Yeah, and I really dig it.
Even though they weren't Avengers, anyway, that's kind of what it was originally about. So yeah, Squadron Supreme number 2, check it out. Astonishing Ant-Man number 3.
Nick, need to read him.
Spencer.
I mean, this whole new volume has been really interesting. I like how Spencer is Spencer's been trying to bring, the digital age and the information age, the Twitter age into the story and in the comics, and this character, the Power Broker, has basically come in and created this app where people can just hire a supervillain to come in and fight the heroes for them. And I really dig the Power Broker's whole thing. Like,
Hinch.
The
new app, Hinch.
Yeah, and
just came in right in where you were talking about.
Yeah, and man, I mean, it's Ant-Man, it's Nick Spencer. Last issue, him and Cap teamed up. Was that the last issue? See, they did it all weird. They released the variant. I got the variant.
Yeah, Marvel released the variant because the regular issue is coming out this week. Yeah, the variant came out last week, but the regular issue's out this week. So some people may have thought they've got shorted, but they didn't. It was just an error on the printer's part.
So I think I might have spoiled a little bit. I think this one is.
You bought the variant?
Yeah.
Where'd you get the variant?
Here.
You got the variant here?
Yeah.
What cover was it?
I don't know the cover.
What did it look like?
I can't even remember offhand. You know the stack of comics I buy every week? I read the comic, I set it aside, I go to the next one.
Okay.
But I think Cap Sam Wilson and him team up. So I really like that. They kind of, and
that's what happened.
I really love Spencer's version of these characters. Like, Scott Lang is awesome, and I mean Sam Wilson's awesome. Seeing them team up, that's why I want to see Spencer on Guardians and Howard. I really do.
Speaking of Sam Wilson, Captain America, is he still going to be Captain America by the middle of by the time Civil War comes out, or Civil War 2?
He should be. That little postcard that they sent to all the retailers that had the...
I know, he should be, but
had Sam and
is that a red herring? You know, because the 75th anniversary of Cap, there's all this speculation with Captain America getting a special next year. It's his 75th anniversary. The rumors that Steve Rogers might be picking up the shield again, which I'm not against, but I also like Sam Wilson as Captain America at the same time. But if Steve Rogers came back, I'd be perfectly happy. You know, we talked about this before. Dick Grayson, when he became Batman, I literally could have, the Damian Dick Grayson dynamic, I literally could have kept reading for quite some time.
You just say Damian and Dick, and I'm just sitting here thinking about Robin War and Titans Hunt from last week.
Yeah, it's good stuff, man.
But
so we're talking
Astonishing Ant-Man. It's awesome. It's been Nick Spencer's whole run. It's just been fantastic.
And as I always say, read Superior Foes of Spider-Man.
Yeah,
everybody should have read it. Even his Secret Avengers run was great. If you didn't read that, it was great stuff. So before Alex Cott took over, Nick Spencer wrote it. It was good stuff. And Avengers World, Nick Spencer wrote part of Avengers World, which was good. A lot of Nick Spencer mainstream stuff besides his Image Comics Morning Glories indie stuff. So, but speaking of Captain America White #5, the final issue. Jeff Loeb, Tim Sale waited 10 years to finish this. The ultimate World War II Cap Bucky tale. It's really a Bucky tale. Captain America reflecting on the death of Bucky. Really interesting. If you like Captain America, this is the book you should definitely read.
It's good. I like it.
So I think Image Comics.
Image Comics.
Ringside #2.
Ringside #1 was really good.
It's got the kind of the backstory of wrestling, which that's always kind of interesting.
I mean, it kind of felt like
it was slow to me, but I'm not going to give up on it yet.
Mickey Rourke movie, The Wrestler.
It's got that vibe
slow.
to it.
I mean, a lot of Image books are like that. Like they're a slow burn, and it's a different form of storytelling. A lot of times when you're not bound by continuity in big universes.
Well, it's like a TV pilot. You're expecting something to hook you to bring you back. That first issue didn't have that ultimate hook, but sometimes it takes 3 issues for you to get to.
Sometimes it's not even until the second season of a show or something.
Well, they catch. Yeah, that's true. What I'm saying is, but like, you know, when you're shelling out $4 for a book or $3 for a book, you know, you can go rent a 2-hour movie. You know, it's quite the investment.
I liked it enough to where I'm like,
if you like wrestling, you should read it.
Yeah, if you like wrestling, which I mean, I haven't watched wrestling in years. Really.
NXT, man.
I hear a lot about NXT.
That's all I'm gonna say.
But
TNA used to exist.
Wrestling will always be,
or Impact Wrestling.
Hold a special place in my heart. It's in my blood, you know. And
backyard wrestler right here.
Yeah.
What was your name?
I'm not gonna say it on here.
People are gonna look him up. That should be something somebody should find out. So, but anyway, we're talking Ringside #2. People should check it out if you love wrestling.
You should read it. I mean, it's just a good story, even if you're not a wrestling fan. It's a good story. You know, a guy down on his luck. You know, retired, trying to get back into the swing of things. Just came back from Japan and all that.
It's true. Japanese wrestling's cool. Wrestle Kingdom coming out right here in literally a week. Wrestle Kingdom is like New Japan's like WrestleMania. It's awesome. Anyway, I just want to say that AJ Styles win the IWGP Intercontinental title. You'll never see this video, but I can say this here. So the Rainmaker, I think, is going to pull it off in the main event. Anyway, I'll stop talking. Anyway, Ringside #2, check it out. That proves I'm a wrestling fan because I know what's up.
I don't know what's up anymore.
Justice League 47 from DC Comics. Yeah. Dark Side of War continues. Now, we got the art is not as good as it has been.
No, it's not.
But the story is strong.
The story's still good. And, you know, after last issue, Grail, Darkseid's daughter, is now the god of the anti-life equation. Or the anti-life, I don't know.
Anti-life equation is kind of what embodies Darkseid.
Yeah.
I was asking a lot of customers here, like, do they even know who the new gods are? They don't. So I kind of feel like Jeff Johns and DC's kind of rebuilding. You know, it used to be the 4th world. It's going to become the 5th world. So I'm kind of curious how this is all going to end and play out. Should be interesting.
Yeah. I'm just... Dark Side War has been going on a little long, and I'm just ready. I'm ready.
I think he had a delay. Yeah, all those one shots just delayed.
One shots delayed it, and it's like, man, let's
see
the meat and potatoes.
Speaking of DC Comics recently announced, or word on the street, is they're going to be going bi-weekly come probably April, because in March all their titles will reach number 50, and they're saying that many of their regular titles, it's speculated they're going to go bi-weekly.
Yep.
I think they're doing this because, one, a lot of their lesser-known titles aren't selling as well, and a lot of people are getting tired. They realize the weekly book works. Let's try bi-weekly. Like they're saying Superman, Batman, a lot of their main characters are going to go bi-weekly, which could hurt your wallet, but also you don't have to wait as long between issues.
Yeah. That's always one thing with me, you know.
To me, it's
waiting a whole month to find out what happens. I mean,
Marvel's been doing it for a few years now, and it works because like they usually do it only on the main titles, and people want to read the main titles, and that's just what they do. It's a cash grab, and DC I think DC needs to do something radical as far as their line. In my opinion, something like that. I think that can let you read a Len Wein redoing Swamp Thing miniseries, where like a Superman helps pay for that because the book may not sell well. You don't know, so I think it's an interesting thing DC's doing.
I'm excited about this Swamp Thing miniseries.
Len Wein, man, got created in pretty awesome stuff.
Man, been missing Swamp Thing for a while now.
Hey, what do you think of that new Legends of Tomorrow anthology coming out? Looks cool. No,
the show?
No, it's the book. It's an anthology where Firestorm's in it. I think the Metal Men are in it. It's basically like they're calling it. They were gonna have all these miniseries come out, but I think they decided to just put them in an anthology book.
Oh man, this
Sugar and
awesome.
Spike. So
that sounds awesome.
Yeah. I think it's kind of an honor of the TV show, which debuts here in just under a month.
Yeah. Oh man, I'm ready. I'm excited for this show.
Should be good. Okay, we'll mention a few other things. All New Wolverine number 3. Tom Taylor writes it. Great book. Should read it.
I need to catch up on it. I got issue number 1.
X-23 is trying to run down all of her clones. There's more than one of her out there, so it makes it interesting.
Cool.
Of course, Angel kind of co-stars.
Tom Taylor, he did Injustice, right?
Tom Taylor did Injustice.
Man,
Superior Iron Man.
I didn't know he did Superior Iron Man.
Yeah, he's getting ready to do Green Lantern's Edge of Oblivion, which a lot of people are hoping he brings the core back to some greatness.
Somebody needs to.
A couple other books I'm going to mention. Deadpool and Cable Split Second number 1, a brand new 5-issue miniseries written by Fabian Nicieza with putting Deadpool and Cable together, which a lot of people like.
Yeah.
If you're a Deadpool fan or a Cable fan, you should be reading that and Uncanny Avengers.
Uncanny Avengers is awesome.
It's actually really good. I was impressed with it. Deadpool as an Avenger, it's really good.
I like the dynamics with the characters.
That's what they call the Unity Squad. The Uncanny Avengers are the mutants and...
now they're mutants and humans and Avengers.
Yeah, mutants and humans and Avengers. So definitely would check out that book. Star Wars Chewbacca number 5, the end of the 5-issue miniseries. Star Wars fever has taken the nation.
It's back. It's back for real this time.
Yeah, and I was going to say, Force Awakens is definitely... Marvel has been put on notice. You need to be making some new comics from the Force Awakens universe.
Well, that time.
Yes.
It's all the same universe.
That time. You know what I mean. That time. But anyway, other than that, Superman Annual number 3, Vandal Savage versus Clark Kent. You also get to... there's a look into how Vandal Savage, his creation, how he began, and how it's tied to Krypton. It's written by the writer of Superman. Definitely a book you want to check out this week.
I just read Superman, what was it,
47?
47. I read it this morning, and there was some Vandal Savage stuff towards the end with him and Hoarder.
Hoarder, yep.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Which Hoarder has ties to a classic superhero. That's something I heard and read about. We'll see what happens. Or a classic character, let me put it that way.
Yeah, he does.
So, anyway, read the book. That's it. And one thing we're going to mention is Jessica Jones' Alias.
Yeah, Jessica Jones. Finally, Volume 4. Is it the final volume of it? Final volume.
Should be.
Yeah, I think so.
I believe it is.
There was only 28 issues.
It should be it.
Man, I mean, if this is indeed the final volume, stuff is about to go down.
That's right.
And it's just fantastic.
And it's written by Brian Michael Bendis. Michael's favorite.
I didn't say nothing.
You would recommend people read it?
Yeah. If you like the show, the comic's so much better than the show. You need to come up here and you need to buy the trade because it is fantastic. And
we got him.
Yeah, it's by Bendis, and I'm not a big Bendis fan, admittedly. but I like what he's doing with Iron Man, and I love Jessica Jones. Alias was fantastic. You need to come get it.
We got him.
Yes, we do.
And also, there's some more new releases this week that you should check out. Take a look at this, and then we'll be right back. All right, everybody, check this out. We got an official comic review from Matt. Eazy E, we call him around here. Matt, since you've begun to work here at Big Bang, you've gotten hooked on comics.
Yes, and it's all your fault. I just want you to know that. I want everybody else to know that it's his fault. And he's the reason I'm spending my money on things like Contest of Champions. So,
should I be proud?
I think you should. I'm proud of myself. He should be proud of me, too.
That's good. That's good. So you've been reading Contest of Champions. What
Yes.
What is it about this book that fascinates you? You've been reading more than that, by the way, but let's talk this book first.
I've been reading more than this because it's his fault. Contest of Champions. What intrigues me about this and what got me hooked from the very first book is that you start off with a ton of characters, which I love. You've got the Future Hulk, Maestro, who has got like tons of swag. He's got an Iron Man suit on. At one point he pulls out Cap's shield, which is great. And he's like one of us too, because when he pulls out Cap's shield and he's using it in battle, he's like, that was near mint, oh no, and he's so upset because it got scuffed up. I love that line. That was amazing. It was fun.
It's like he's got a collector vibe about it.
Yeah, it's so cool. Anyways, you got the Future Hulk, the Maestro, you've got the Collector, you've got Gamora, you've got Venom, you've got the British Punisher, you've got, Outlaw, Iron Man. I mean, just within this first book, and I'd never heard of Guillotine.
Yeah.
And in the second book, it gives you a little bit about Guillotine, which is awesome because it's like, okay, we'll learn you on Guillotine. Moving on with the story. It doesn't like spend an entire book doing it. It's just a ton of characters. It's a huge cast. They're fighting against each other, and it's just a lot of fun. It's everything that I enjoy in a comic book. So
someone should read it because it's basically fighting story.
Basically. Tons of characters, fighting story, tons of characters, and more characters continue to be introduced, and I love it. So.
Yeah, because I think one thing about this book is you have a lot of first appearances of characters and the things about first appearances, sometime down the road, they matter. So this may be a big book down the road that maybe people aren't reading or are reading, so.
Yeah.
And you're also reading Carnage.
I am reading Carnage. The first two were a bit slow. Leading up into building what a story is going to be in this, and I've got really high hopes so far for number 3 because we're introducing Man-Wolf, which Carnage is down. If you don't know, Carnage is down in a mine shaft. He's killing people, and now all of a sudden this guy's turning into Man-Wolf. So Carnage has got to fight Man-Wolf. Yeah. And then, in addition to that, we've got an additional subplot that Toxin is there, the guy that used to have the Venom symbiote.
Eddie Brock.
He used to have Venom, and now he's got Toxin, who I don't know anything about, so I'm looking forward to learning about that. And now there's an even deeper subplot about the guy that owns the mine is trying to unleash this ancient evil thing, so like that's coming eventually too. So I've got high hopes for the next couple issues. The first two, a lot of lead up, a lot of build up to what the story is going to be, and now I've got high hopes for it. Carnage is one of my favorite villains. I like crazy for the sake of crazy. So.
And Venom and Carnage, they always kind of have that cult status we were talking about. Like those two guys in Punisher, people just love them.
Yeah.
And it's written by Jerry Conway. You should be reading it anyway.
Yeah, the art's great too. I love the art. So, anyway.
Is there a lot of violence in this book?
There is some violence. It's a lot more implied violence so far. Like it shows Venom about to kill somebody, and then it switches scenes, and you know that the guy died, but it doesn't like his head came off. Yeah. So.
I was just curious. That's important to know.
Yeah, it's good.
That's awesome, man. Also, Doctor Strange.
That guy's there.
Check him out.
Yeah.
He's got an awesome book, and also Benedict Cumberbatch just announced the movie and photos coming out. Check that out. Here's the toy. Guess who's got it? We got it.
We got him. Big Bang. Right there.
Howard the Duck, number 3. Tell us.
Man.
Not everyone appreciates Howard, so I want you to tell him. Tell him about Howard.
Well, okay. The book's been good lately. You know, Chip Zdarsky. He's not the greatest, but he's good. And
she's the artist on Sex Criminals.
Yeah, and
he's the writer here.
there was something really cool that happened at the end of number 1 of Howard the Duck. He's trying to get back to his home dimension, and at the end of the book, he's got this portal, like I think in like the Everglades, someplace like that, and all of a sudden, a female Howard and a female Rocket Raccoon bust through this portal. And then number 2 is all their story, like what happened, and apparently they were clones, and they lived in like the future, and they were part of the Collector's Collection, and they just had like a really good backstory, and it was just like, it was really heartfelt, and there were some really like some moments that just hit you right in the feels. And oh man, I really liked it, and I'm excited to see where it goes. Like this is one of the first times I've really been excited about Howard the Duck, and yeah, man, Howard the Duck is. I've always said Howard the Duck is awesome, but right now I'm just like, yes, this is great. I want to see where it's going.
More people should read Howard the Duck.
Yes.
If you like humor, now is She-Hulk still right next door to him, or did they change that?
I mean, I think she probably is, but they've been off doing stuff. Like, I mean, in the last volume before Secret Wars, she was. So, but yeah, it's really good.
I liked her in the previous volume, Howard the Duck. Anyway, Howard the Duck, people should definitely be reading that. You also have Amazing Spider-Man number 6. Mr. Negative takes on Spider-Man and the return of 2 fan favorite heroes, according to Marvel. Cloak and Dagger are rumored to be coming back.
I didn't know Mr. Negative was coming back.
Yeah.
They've been doing all this stuff with the Zodiac.
He's on the cover.
I haven't seen the cover.
Sorry. Anyway, Cloak and Dagger, rumored to come back. Cloak and Dagger, kind of curious to see what they're going to do with them, because that's kind of an old 80s duo.
Well, they were in X-Men. What is it? All New X-Men? Uncanny? One of them here recently.
Well, they were also, I think they were also in the Ultimate Universe. They were kind of highlighted characters there. So, which version are we getting? Good question.
We don't even know.
We
anymore.
don't know.
As long as Thor Leaf don't show up, it don't matter.
Oh man. I'm Daryl.
And I'm Michael.
And don't forget, this is Big Bang Talks Comics.
And we got him.
Visit mybigbang.com for more information. And look up Michael's YouTube name, what he wrestled under. First one to find out, it's going to get a major prize. I don't even know what it is yet.
You're not
Find
going
it.
to be able to. There's nothing out there.
Even if you have to hit him over the head with a chair, and you'll find out.
Nothing out there.
Someone knows. Anyway, we got him.
Ugh.